So real estate is about building community, building relationships. So when I feel like I can be my true, honest self with people, I think that is how you gain business. Not everybody's going to love me for who I truly am, but the people that do, that's who I want to work with, right?
My name is Kevin McIntosh, and this is The Closing Table, where we talk to experts about their experience in real estate all across the country. Let's go. Welcome back to The Closing Table, and with us on this episode today, I have a pleasure of speaking with Miss Chelsie DeLong. How you doing, Chelsie?
Great. How are you?
Absolutely fine. It's a great day. The weather's starting to break a little bit.
Yeah.
And I got you. So let's talk some real estate.
Sounds good.
First, let's get into your background a little bit. I see that you've worked in insurance. You've worked as a teaching assistant. You've worked as an underwriter. And now you're a full-time real estate broker. Why don't you explain to us if there's anything from your previous occupations that may have helped you as a realtor today?
Yeah, so I went to Olivet College and I studied insurance and risk management. And then I got a job with the Fortune 500 company here in the greater Lansing area. And then I worked there for a couple of years and I really felt like I was a rat in the wheel there. I felt like I was just another number. And so I always wanted to get my real estate license. And when I did 7 years ago, before getting my real estate license, I just realized that there are so many things I don't want in a career. And I feel as if real estate gives me everything I really do want. So with my prior jobs, I just feel as if I learned about what I don't want in my job or in my life. And I think that, when you get your real estate license or your career really does sometimes become your life. So I wanted it to be a lifestyle change, not just a career change.
Okay, that's interesting. A few people that I spoke with have made career changes. They went from working in one industry or even getting their degree in a certain industry and then doing something completely unrelated, or like we said, going into real estate specifically. I feel like a lot of people have that similar background story. Like I was just tired of the rat race and just being here, and now I'm doing something that really makes me feel like I'm contributing to the world.
Yeah.
I understand. I've heard that a few times.
Yeah. And what I love about this job is that I get to teach people every day, right? So I just really enjoy being able to teach people, be with people, meet new people. That's what I love about it.
All right. So let's talk business.
Okay.
Supply and demand in your area. It's been kind of crazy these last couple of years. So how is supply and demand in your market affecting housing prices?
So I feel like demand for the housing market is as high as it has ever been. I've had my real estate license for 7 years, and it's definitely still crazy. People talk about, the real estate market slowing down. I particularly, as an agent, have not seen that. I don't know if that's something that people are talking about outside of the industry. But just as an example, I listed 2 houses in the last 2 weeks, and both have received over asking price. And like the median price range in our area is like around 185, and both of them went for like $10,000 to $15,000 over. So that's still a good 5% over asking price, which I feel like is excellent. So if you're talking supply and demand within the real estate market, I feel like that's my opinion on that. However, that's not necessarily true for every other supply and demand market within the world.
Of course. And we know different markets are going to have different types of supply and demand, influxes, I should say. But, it's good to know what's going on locally in your specific market that you handle. That way, anyone who is kind of curious about your market could also get that insight from a professional. So I appreciate you for sharing that with us.
Yeah, and just to touch base for anybody listening, I'm in the greater Lansing area market. So I talked with a couple people that are, in the the Metro Detroit area. I keep wanting to say Greater Detroit area, but that's not what they call it. They call it the Metro.
Same thing, same
The
thing.
same thing, but their market there is totally different even than here, and they're only an hour and a half away or an hour away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
Exactly. Exactly. So being a realtor, you have good things and you have bad things. Not to
Hmm.
say I want to focus on the bad thing, but I saw you post a haunted house, a real estate agent's haunted house or something like that. You mentioned some things that happens when you're showing a
Oh,
buyer a home and a seller just wouldn't leave. How do you handle a situation where a seller just either wouldn't leave for showing, or they kind of intervene during the showing?
I think it really depends on who the seller is, right? A lot of the times buyers feel extremely uncomfortable when there's a seller present because they
Mm-hmm.
don't feel as if they can be their true, honest self in front of somebody that they don't know. That's why they take a realtor with them that they already have a relationship with. So I try to be as kind as possible and just communicate that the goal here is for us to have a private showing and
Mm-hmm.
just be honest with sellers that it makes buyers feel uncomfortable most of the time for them to be present. Um, and also just like let my buyers know if they are going to be selling a house soon, like how uncomfortable that makes them feel as a
Right.
buyer, the seller to be present, and just communicate that you don't want to be present during showings. It doesn't, I don't feel as if it does anybody justice in that moment.
Right. See, I'm kind of surprised by that response because I would think the realtor would be more nervous, right? Because you're the one actually showing the person, and they might have certain questions, but maybe you don't want to show them certain things while the seller is there. I wouldn't see the buyers being nervous, but that's the case a lot of times.
Yeah,
Why is that?
for example, because I don't feel like they feel comfortable opening doors or opening cabinets or like looking in.
Oh,
They think it's so personal to be there,
right.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, so, but it makes
Okay.
everybody feel uncomfortable, right? So I had an
Right,
incident
right.
when the sellers were there and were like, oh no, what do we do? This feels so uncomfortable. Where the inspector's
Yeah.
there, the inspector's trying to tell you everything that's wrong with the house. And then this inspector doesn't feel as if they can because the seller's standing right there. So
Right,
it's
right, right.
mixed emotions.
Then it seems kind of awkward to be like, "Can you leave your house for a minute?" Like, I'll leave my house and let strangers there.
Yeah, can I kick you out of your house so that we can have a private showing?
Right.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So we talked about the quote unquote bad or unfavorable moments. Let's talk about some of the favorable moments. What are some of your most memorable moments since you've obtained your license?
So I think my first sale was pretty memorable. And I think the
Mm,
reason for that is because it's a goal. Like when you're getting your real estate license, you kind of just you're hoping and wishing and desiring this new career. But then when you get your first sale, you're like, I'm doing it. Like I got this. Like I'm gonna be doing it.
mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
So it's such a reward when you get your license and you make your first sale. So I think that is one of the most memorable things for me. Um,
Nice.
so, I was thinking about that. Like, is it the money that's the most memorable? Is it the people that are the most memorable? But realistically, I think just the simplicity of being able to switch from a career that I didn't enjoy to this one
There
was
you go.
memorable for me.
Oh yeah, priceless right there.
Yeah.
So how long was it from when you obtained your license to when you made your first sale? How long was it, that period?
I think it was like a month or two.
Oh
Um,
wow.
Yeah, so I had the buyer prior to that. So, I was working with that buyer looking at houses before we, obviously closed. So it was fairly quick. It was within the first few months. Yeah.
Mm.
And that was just
Okay.
simply from word of mouth. Like, just
Right.
like, hey, I have my real estate license. Hey, I want to work with you. Um, and I'm still learning. Like, I just got my real estate license, just being honest with people, I'm not a professional
Hmm.
yet in this industry at that time.
Right.
And people like that when you're just honest. So,
Hmm. Absolutely. When they feel like they're not being pressured by someone, even, I mean, it could be intimidating dealing with someone who's been doing real estate for 20 plus years. Sometimes they might be in a mode where they might be running past some jargon that the client may not even be aware of. I mean, just because they've been doing this for so long, they might, well, I assumed you knew this. But with you first starting also, y'all kind of meet on that same level. I
Right,
get
because they
that.
were first-time home buyers, so they didn't really have an idea of what was happening either. So
Do you have more buyers looking for homes reaching out to you, or more sellers looking to sell homes reaching
I,
out to you?
I have pretty much equal year to year. For the last 2 or 3 years,
Really?
I have pretty much equal buyers and
Hmm.
sellers. Now, when I first started off, that wasn't true. I had 75% buyers and 25% sellers. But I think as you go,
Really?
you're building your clientele too, right? So those sellers or those people that buy now become sellers, and so on and so
Correct.
forth. So, and then when people buy, and they are recommending you, and same with sellers, when they sell, they're recommending you to more sellers. So that's how I feel, as if your business can change over time.
That seems to be a common denominator. I've spoken to a few realtors who pretty much say the same thing. Like their clientele skews from more buyers to more sellers because they have a lot of repeat clients that
Yeah.
want to sell the home that they might have bought with you before. I mean, that speaks volumes to your relationship and how
Yeah.
you can keep things going with your clients. So that's a beautiful thing, first and foremost.
Yeah, thank you.
We're only 2 months into 2023. Have you
Yeah.
set your goals for 2023? What are they?
Yeah, so I thought about this a little bit, and my husband and I don't set physical, we want to sell this many houses per year. I should mention my husband is also a real estate agent and he works with me, but um,
Nice.
we don't set a goal for we want to sell this many, we want to do this volume, we want to do this. We really set it as like a lifestyle, right? So we want to live, what do we want to do this year? What is our lifestyle like, and what do we want it to be in the future? So right now, one of our goals is to buy a lake house. And so we
Gotcha.
kind of are setting ourselves up to meet that expectation. I see our goals as a lifestyle change each year, right? So we're growing and maturing, and our family is getting bigger, and so we just really desire to change our lifestyle from year to year. So
Yeah,
this
yeah.
year, my husband has been wanting to focus on fishing, right? So real
Right.
estate has been still are always going to be our number one, but we're going to be taking it on the road, and we're going to be working from the road. And he's going to be doing a professional fishing career. So that's what
Nice.
main goal is for this year.
All right. So by traveling, you mean you're looking into buying and selling homes in different markets, different states and cities and things of that nature, while he'll juggle his fisherman career.
So we'll still keep our real estate business within the greater Lansing area, but we'll just be
Okay.
traveling while working. So if there's a client that needs
Oh.
me, then I might FaceTime them, or text back and forth, or do more phone calls versus going to their physical location. And I think that's true for any industry right now, is that people are becoming more virtual. And so I think it's just more
Really?
accepted now that you do things more virtually. And so I find that I can still give my clients the same amount of service virtually than I can
Right.
at home. So, yeah.
That is new. See, now I have to ask about that because
Yeah.
traditionally you're there to literally show them and go to different homes with them. So you're not there for that part now, or how does that work? Do you just send them to the home by themselves, or do you come into town for that? I mean, when that does happen, like
Yeah.
how is that going to work?
So we're only going to be traveling 9 weeks out of the year. So a lot of the times, let's say a
Um,
buyer does want to see a house at that particular time that we're gone, then another agent will help me. I'll be partnering with another agent.
I figured that. Okay.
However, if we're home, then of course it would be myself or my husband showing them the house. But everything else can be done out of being present at the physical location
Right,
besides,
right. Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Okay, okay, okay. Nice. I'm not mad at that. Adjusting to make your life happy.
Yeah.
Happy life,
Life's,
motivation,
yeah.
things of that nature. You say you are a highly motivated millennial. I'm looking at your social profiles.
Yeah. Yeah.
Highly motivated millennial. I'm a millennial also, but I gotta ask you, how do you feel like being a millennial gives you an advantage over your older generation competitions? If that's a nicer way to say it.
Yeah. So I I think sometimes people view millennials as the lazy generation, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And so
Mm-hmm.
the reason why I put that in my bio is because I want people to know that I work hard and I'm here to stay. I'm not going anywhere in the real
There
estate
you
industry.
go.
So
Mm-hmm.
that is why I put that in my bio. Now, do I think that other generations aren't successful within real estate? Absolutely not. I just think that not everybody, even millennials, work towards, gear up towards focusing on what the changing market has to come, right? So the market's always changing in regards to like social media and what
Mm-hmm.
clients want and the service they want, how fast they want it. So I think agents that are not changing and moving towards that, or even pay to your employees, that stuff is always changing every single year.
Wow.
So just
Right,
focus
right.
on learning. And if you're not learning as an agent, I just don't think that you're going to be successful year to year. So that's
Absolutely.
there.
Absolutely. Being a millennial and social media and the internet, it goes hand in hand, even with Generation Z. But yeah, we grew up literally like half no internet, half internet type, you know? So we have that perfect mix together. I see you are very active on TikTok. Not only just active, but you share a lot of personal
Yeah.
information and stories on there. Also, how do you feel like TikTok and what you share on TikTok is an important part of your real estate process?
So I think it's all about building a community, right? So real estate is about building community, about building relationships. So when I feel like I can be my true, honest self with people, I think that that is how you gain business. Not everybody's going to love me
Mm,
for who I truly am, but the people
yep.
that do, that's who I want to work with, right? So it's the relationship goes both ways. So if I'm not going to work well
Facts.
with somebody, it's not likely that they're going to work well with me either. But when you're posting personal things on your TikTok or Instagram or Facebook or whatever, I think people see who you are as a person, and I think that draws them to you, to
Mm-hmm.
them want to do business with you.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct. I can see them. They see you being a mom or you showing your
yeah,
struggles as a mom, and then you can relate. You build common ground with other moms and
yeah.
things. And then once they get to looking for homes, they go to the person that they can relate to that they know already has that type of position.
Right,
I
exactly.
I knew the answer to that. You know,
Right.
obviously, I just want
Yeah,
you to share that with everybody
yeah,
else.
yeah,
Also, on your social medias, I see that you recently took a trip.
yeah.
More specifically, Costa Rica. I wish you would have brought some of that weather back with you.
Okay.
But let's speak on personal and vacation days in real estate because you make up your own schedule
Yeah.
and you pretty much control that. So, like, how or when do you decide to take personal days? How often do you do it within a year? Like,
Yeah. So I mentioned that my husband and I are going to be traveling for the year. So this year we're going to be traveling 10 weeks out of the year. It's
right.
hard to say like how I decide like when I'm going to go on vacation. Obviously there's
Mm-hmm.
budgetary things that are around there. Like we can just take a vacation always.
Right.
But when I went to Costa Rica, I went with a group of women that I didn't know at all. I went there to
Really?
meet new women and to build relationships that way and to grow within building relationships with women that I don't know because I have historically had relationships within my small town. And one of my goals personally this year is to build relationships outside of our small town. And
Okay.
so going on this trip with most of the women were business owners, you just naturally, when in conversation with women business owners, learn more, learn
Okay.
different ways. So that is why I went on that Costa Rica trip to build myself up and to get business ideas on how to move forward with things. But in
Nice.
regards to vacations, I always see vacations as like we were talking about earlier, right? So I am building my real estate business in order to be able to live a certain type of lifestyle. And
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
so I really pride myself on the fact that I'm my whole goal, I feel like in life is to market a lifestyle change, right? So you have a career, but what lifestyle do you actually want to live? And within
Mm.
vacations, I feel as if you are showing people that they don't have to live necessarily one lifestyle, that they can live both at the same time.
Right.
And that your career doesn't necessarily have to hold you back from living.
That was well said.
When I do go on vacation, I like, I don't always tell everybody that I'm going on vacation, but I like to take videos and encourage people to do what makes them truly happy in life. And for me, it's vacationing, and that's not true that's not true for everybody.
Correct. Even when you are taking these trips, these personal days, how does that affect your sales, your process?
Yeah, I was actually thinking about this because I had a client ask me this right before I left, right? He said he wanted to list with me, and he was a little nervous that I was leaving to go to Costa Rica. And I said, I in fact don't think it's going to change how I'm going to service you at all, right? Because I have two kids at home. So some days I'm at home with my kids and I don't have time to text back or whatever. So in that instance, I was thinking I actually might have more time with you while I'm gone on vacation because I don't have my kids with me. Right.
As crazy as that sound as a parent, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
I wanted to tell him that, but I was just like, no, I just reassured him, like, I'm here to service you no matter where I am.
Right.
Because there's things that happen all the time in life, and that doesn't change the fact of how I feel like I service my clients. It doesn't change it at all.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Juggling being a mom.
Yeah.
A realtor. Wife.
Yeah.
Family woman. What's the toughest and most rewarding thing about juggling all three of these lifestyles?
Yeah, so I would say probably time management is the hardest, right? So as a mom, I think a lot of moms feel guilty when they take time away from their kids to be whoever they want to be, right? Because, or not even necessarily as a mom, but as a parent in general, some people feel guilty when they take time away from their kids, but they're becoming who they want to be outside of being just a parent, right? Because you are a person outside of being a mom or dad.
Yes.
Right. So I think that that's important to just realize that you are somebody different outside of your kids, because when your kids are 18 and they move out or whenever they move out, you're still going to be there. And if you don't have who you truly are as yourself to the core, then that takes away from you as well. So I think just juggling time, feeling guilty, working through all those emotions that you have when you're a parent in general.
Chelsie, you almost made me cry. I thought you were talking to me. I'm sorry. You just speaking in general. Man, that was so spot on.
Yeah.
I believe that too. You can't just be tied up in being a mom or a dad all the time. We got to live our life. I got to live my life, baby.
Right.
Oh,
exactly.
man, I felt that one. I felt that one. That hit different.
We're good.
All right, Chelsie. Well, thank you. Thank you for your time. Thanks for joining us. I enjoyed myself talking. For all the people that's watching, you want to tell them how they can reach out to you, get in contact with you if they're interested?
Yeah. So my real estate page is just Realtor Chelsie DeLong. If you're looking to follow me on a more personal level on my TikTok name is The DeLong Life. And that's where I post, a more of a personal level there. So yeah. And same with my Instagram. It's The DeLong Life there as well.
Yeah. Please check her out on all social media. She has a very active and engaging profile. So please go ahead and check her out and follow her. Thank you again, Chelsie. I appreciate it. For any and everybody watching right now on YouTube, you already know, if you got this far, please hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. And also, if you're listening, Apple, Spotify, other podcast platforms, please do the same. Like, 5-star rating, and subscribe to our channel so you get caught up with the latest content. Before we go, I got to leave a question for the audience. What are some of the factors that you consider when looking for a new home or just considering moving in general? Go ahead and drop your comments below. Other than that, we'll see you next time.